Hello and welcome. My name is Benjamin. In today's video, I would like to talk about righteousness. So the topic of today's video is righteousness. Most people don't really understand what righteousness means. They view it from a Christian, old school Christian perspective. So to start off, I would like to read some certain Bible verses. So then I will continue from there. So the first one I'll be reading is the book of Daniel chapter 4 verse 27. Daniel chapter 4 27. It says, break off thy sins by righteousness. That is Daniel 4 27. And in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 20, it says, for I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall in no case enter the kingdom of heaven. And in book of the same Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So that leads us with a question of what is righteousness or what is sin. So most people don't even understand what sins mean. So because if you look at the Bible, or I've studied the Bible long enough, you will notice a pattern that whenever sin is mentioned, righteousness is not far off. So sin and righteousness goes hand in hand because it's like the opposite of it. So to answer the questions about sins, about righteousness, and what Jesus spoke about in the book of Matthew 6:33 5:20, it says Matthew 5:20, that except your righteousness exceed that of the scribes and the Pharisees. So what does it mean by that? So I will start off because I'll start off by answering the first question, which is what is sin? Because every time they mention righteousness, there's sin, or every time sin is mentioned in the Bible, righteousness is there. So what is sin? That will be the point number one. What is sin? Sin is simply to miss the mark. If I say I'll wake up at 7 a.m. and I did not wake up at 7 a.m., I have sinned against me. If you meet somebody you like and you tell them that you are looking for a relationship, even though you are not looking for a relationship, you just want to have fun with a person, and they are thinking that, oh, this guy or this lady is in a relationship with me, and I'm in a relationship with them, but in your heart, in your mind, you know that you are not in a relationship. In fact, you are not looking for a relationship. You are just trying to have fun. But you knew that if you tell them that, they will not entertain it. So you told them that, oh, I'm looking for a relationship, so that they will let you into their life. And after you have had your fun, you break up with them, you have a fake breakup with them, and you move on, even though that was the intention from the beginning. In that instance, you have sinned against God and against the person because you deceived them with your lies, by saying that you are looking for a relationship, even when you are not looking for a relationship. You knew from the very beginning that all you are looking for was fun. So you missed the mark you set for yourself, for them, and because you made a promise with no intention of keeping it, you have sinned because you have missed the mark. That relationship you promised, you did not deliver it. So when you set a target and you miss that target, you have sinned. Sin is to miss a target, to miss a mark. If I say I'm going to make £10,000 this month, and I did not make £10,000 this month, I have sinned against myself. That one is nothing. It's not a big deal. Sinning against yourself is nothing. It's when you make a promise to somebody else, then you knew that you never keep that promise, or even though you tried to keep that promise and you failed, then you have sinned. So that is what sin means in a nutshell. Sin is to miss a mark, to miss the target. So that is point number one. Point number two, in the book of Matthew chapter, point number two is what is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees that Jesus mentioned in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 20. So I'll read Matthew chapter 5 verse 20 because that is what this point number 2 is centered on. Matthew chapter 5 verse 20 says, for It says, "For I say unto you that except your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall in no case enter the kingdom of heaven." What is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees? The righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees is what I call the Facebook or the Instagram righteousness. When people want to when they want to help someone, there's 20 cameras of videoing them helping someone. That is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. It's about pretending to be pretending to be what you are not, doing things for people to see you. So if you want to help someone, there is camera there showing people that you're helping someone. If you pretend to be what you are not, you are in debt, but every time you are posting pictures of you on holiday, having a good time, pretending that you are living this fabulous life, that you are financially secured, even though you are late on your mortgage, all your bills, all your energy bills are still unpaid, your car loan, you are still behind on your car loan, yet you pretend like everything is great financially. That is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. The righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees is fake. It's pretending to be something you are not. So it's pretending that you are something you have no intention of ever being that. So like the first example I gave, like when you enter a relationship, you pretend that you're looking for a relationship just to have access to somebody's life, just to have fun, even though you knew from the get-go you have no interest in a serious relationship. That is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. It's pretending to be something you are not, pretending to be who you are not. That is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. Like now, when I'm talking on this video, I'm using everything organically. I'm not pretending to use a voice that is not my own. I'm not pretending to use an accent that is not my own. Everything is as it is in real life. There are some people, they see them on Facebook, on Instagram or YouTube. They have a different voice. They have a different accent. But when you meet them in real life, it's not their true voice, because that is the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. You are, in a nutshell, pretending to be what you are not. So that is point number 2. Point number 3 is, what is true righteousness? What is true righteousness? I'll read again from the book of Daniel chapter 4 verse 27. It says, break off thy sins by righteousness. So these Bible scriptures, this Daniel chapter 4 verse 27 is the most simplest, is the core of today's video, which is righteousness. It says, break off thy sins by righteousness. Sin is to miss the mark. And for you to save yourself from your sin, to keep missing the mark, you must become righteous. And what it is to be righteous, what is true righteousness as this is? Righteousness is at the primary level, at the very basic level. Righteousness is the feeling of being what you desire. Is the law of assumption in motion. Is being in consciousness that you are that which you want to be. At the secondary level, righteousness is to attain the mark. So if I say that I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. and I woke up at 7 a.m. or even before that time, then I am partaking in righteousness. That is righteousness. I've attained my goal. My goal was to wake up at 7 a.m. and I woke up at 7 a.m. I am righteous in that moment. Righteousness is to achieve what you want to achieve in the secondary level. At the very basic level, righteousness is to be in the consciousness that you are that who you should desire to be. Is being in the feeling of that which you want to be. So if you want to become a millionaire, to break off, that is the mark you have set to yourself. If you have been failing to become a millionaire, that is sinning. To break off from that sin, you must activate the law of assumption. That means to be in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Not 1 minute you are in that feeling, the next minute you are doubting. Is constantly to be in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, because wherever you are mentally, that is where your physical 3D body will come to meet you. So if you are in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, let's say you start in your mind, in your head, every time you are daydreaming, you see yourself as a millionaire, as a multi-millionaire. You feel it in every fiber of your being. That is righteousness. Yeah, being in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Then because you are there mentally, your physical world will start to change until it's in alignment of where you are mentally. Because wherever you are in your mind, that is where you are in your body will come. Your body will adjust. Your reality will adjust to become that. Wherever a man is in his heart, that is where he is. His environment, his current environment doesn't really matter. So if you are right now, you are sick, but mentally, to break up that sin is that to be sick is sin. That means for you to be sick is actually sin. That means because you have missed the mark. And what is the mark? The mark is to be healthy. So for you to break off that sin by your righteousness, mentally, you must be in your mind, you must be feeling that you are healthy. If you are poor, you are sinning because you have missed the mark. The mark was for you to live a prosperous life. And for you to break off that sin with your righteousness, you must mentally be in the feeling of being a rich person, living a prosperous life. So righteousness at the very basic level, at the primary level, it is being in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, being in the consciousness of that you are that which you desire, that what you desire is already yours. Living mentally in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, that is righteousness. There is no other way I can explain it to you. At the secondary level, you can just say righteousness is attaining your desire, because if you can stay in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your whole reality will bend and manifest that. Your whole reality will bend for you to start experiencing that which you are experiencing mentally. And the side extra information I'm going to give you is this: when you start to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it has to be consistent. It can't be today you are mentally you are what you want to be. You are living it in it mentally. Tomorrow you are somewhere else, or worse, you are doubting it. You are saying, am I daydreaming? Am I just acting like a foolish person by mentally living the life I want to live? No, it can't be that. You have to be consistent. You have to go there and stay there until your whole reality changes to conform to what you have been experiencing mentally. How long it will take, no one knows. It might take a month, it might take 6 months, it might take a year or even 2 years. But if you can stay there and live mentally in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your whole world will adjust to reflect that. And that is the message of this video, that break off your sins. Break off from whatever is holding you down with your righteousness. Break off from thy sins by thy righteousness. So this is the message of this video. I hope this video has been helpful to you in one way or the other. If it is, I really like it. If you like, subscribe or leave a comment. If nothing else, look after yourself and see you on my next video. Bye for now.